Hey everybody, Blind Way back. I'm Aaron.
I'm Eric.
And we are here with our first Legends of Tomorrow Q&A.
I'm nobody's legend.
Hero.
Is that what you said?
I'm no hero.
I can't. You do the better snart one. I need a heat wave. Is it a heat wave one?
I don't know. Legends!
I just want to kill people.
We waited till the pilot was done. We've had a 2-episode pilot.
Yeah.
It's finished.
Yep.
Interesting. Eric and I hate it. No.
Honestly, and this might be controversial, it's my favorite show right now.
Is it?
Of all the shows we watch, I look forward to this the most now.
It's fun. I love the crew.
I'm sorry, but that part in the second episode, when they just went all out for the first 10 minutes, and then the show started. It was so great. And I love the chemistry. I love all of the actors. Honestly, the weakest link for me, and I'm sorry if the guy watches this show, but the Connor Hawkman was probably...
Carter
was probably the weakest link, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still better than some of the problems I had with some of the other shows. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have to worry about that right now. But we'll probably have some questions talking about that.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into some questions. Our first question is from Reverse Flash. Anyway, did you think that we will see future Barry and future Oliver?
I've thought about this. I definitely do.
No, we're in the past.
Well, I think they'll go in the future. They have a time travel ship. They're going in the future. They're going in the future. But it would be awesome to see that. Hopefully, okay, this is the thing, though. If they do that, we've lost stakes.
True. Because now you've seen in the future.
Some stakes.
Now, the way they could handle that is we don't see Barry, we don't see Oliver, we see Connor Hawk and Wally West. You know what I mean? Now you don't know what happened to Barry, you don't know what happened to Oliver. Yeah. They could die at any time. But if you go 20 years in the future and you see the older versions, like, oh, well, I don't have to worry about in the show them ever dying. Yeah. Which that's the thing. Now, time travel can change and stuff, but they specified that these characters are important and have special stuff they have to put in place. Yeah. So,
and we know there's going to be some crossover stuff in the show. Now, I point that out because I know that there have been some things confirmed for this show that me and Aaron have spent a lot of time and a lot of effort to not hear about.
Okay. I thought you knew something. Like, what did you find out?
I don't know anything. I just don't want to know. I'd rather speculate.
I hope we don't see a future Barry, a future Oliver. Now, future Arrow, future Flash, I'm okay with. As cool as it would be... Now, what if we saw some kind of in past Oliver in China?
Please, no. Actually, Mick Rory could probably make China better, honestly. It's yellow! That's not racist. I'm sorry. The lighting in China was very yellow. I don't know, but I could see... what comic is there that... It's like... I can't remember which comic it is. That, like, you see, like, a future Green Arrow, and he only has one hand. And he's doing, like, bow and arrow with one hand.
I don't remember
and
that.
He has, like, a big white beard and stuff.
I don't remember that at all.
I don't know. That would be kind of cool to see.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
But if it's Oliver, you know he's not going to die.
Well, we already know he doesn't die until 87.
Arrow already doesn't have stakes anyway.
Yeah, I know. But, only in flashbacks. But, we know from the Reverse Flash, like, Oliver Queen, you die at 87.
That's true.
I guess the history books... were wrong.
Yeah. And then Flash
and
was
then Firestorm comes out and then Flash comes over what was that? He shot him with the thing. Who? Oliver.
Shot him with what?
With serum.
With a gun?
Yeah.
A gun. Yeah. Not an arrow.
Mistakes for me.
Alright, so next question we have is Shirosai. Step 1, freeze Vandal Savage. Step 2, stab Vandal Savage.
Problem solved. We said that in the reaction, like, why are they not all ganging up on him at once? But there were some guardsmen, but couldn't, like, at least...
One of them,
like...
Snart?
Just have Snart. No.
Adam?
No. Take your strongest guy. Either Adam or Firestorm. Probably Firestorm. Have him take out the normal guards that were so adept they let these guys break in, and then they just came out of nowhere.
Well, Firestorm blasted him to begin with. In the very beginning of that fight.
And then Adam blasted him later, too.
Yeah.
We've talked about this. Vandal Savage does not seem to have that much of an arsenal to combat our like literal heroes. You know, like the guys that like these guys pack a punch.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we would see a little bit more. Like I'd like to see him get like roasted by Firestorm, and then he just like gets back up and is like Wolverine.
Yeah,
I would like to see that.
And then Snart just freezes him in place, and they just stab him in the chest.
That's a thing.
I don't know.
Unless maybe he can't be frozen. Or...
The fact that you send our two heroes that are maybe stronger with wings.
Whenever they fight, their wings come out.
That's it, right?
They have a mace. To be fair,
they didn't use it.
They didn't. They did in the beginning. They're a little rinky-dink, though. Maces need to be heavy and strong and powerful, and they gotta be able to take some...
I remember seeing, like, Hawkgirl in the comic... Well, not the comics, but in the Justice League with, like, Martian Manhunter and stuff, and she's always flying, like, that thing's hanging down. And
she throws it, too, like, crazy. But utilize flying. It's your greatest advantage. I have the high...
Adam does it every time. Firestorm does it every time.
Yeah. I mean, pick guys up and drop them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can Vandal Savage, like, you could probably break his brain or something by throwing, like, go to velocity height or hit, what do they call it? Velocity speed or, fuck, I don't know. Do something different. But, yeah, they could have definitely just frozen him in place. Only her can kill him, and she got stabbed, fine. Walk her over, put the sword in her hand, grab that hand, and then just stab it. Dead. Yep. Fatality. That'd be the lamest fatality. Like all these other heroes come in...
Animality.
Yeah. Why you're winning. Anyway, what's the next question?
Alright. Billy the Kid says, imagine all the people we have the possibility of seeing in this show do the time travel. Do you think that Eobard Thawne may be possible antagonist in this show since he has a big relation to Gideon? That's Gideon. I didn't think about Gideon. Yeah. I feel as though he may try to steal the ship at some point.
Now, that could, because he has a problem going through time. But we made the connection, like, with Gideon. Like, okay, does that mean that Flash might be somehow connected with the Time Masters? Mm-hmm. But I didn't think about Thawne. When does Thawne come back, and when does Vandal Savage take over the world?
I don't know.
Does Thawne come from a future before or after that?
I think it's before Vandal Savage, right?
Okay.
Because wasn't the Vandal Savage one like 2100 something?
Yeah.
But I think there's... I mean, I guess I'm going more on the newspaper thing.
I thought that Thawne was like Thawne was like the 22nd century.
I don't
right?
Remember.
I thought that was like 100 years too.
I don't know, but everything's destroyed.
I know, but...
If everything's destroyed, what's it... I don't know.
I'm just saying, like, I just wonder what that is. And could we see Revert Flash in the Legend Tomorrow?
I would rather see that than Flash and Arrow in there. Because then it doesn't really take away the stakes or anything,
true.
You know?
Well, I mean, we would know that he can't die until he dies when he's erased. Yeah,
but we know when he's going to die. But he could show up, help, screw stuff up.
What I'm saying is, like, well, that'd be cool. But there you go. You got a character that can compete with Firestorm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean,
he already did.
He already did. He took him out like nothing, kind of. Now, to be fair, it's a different Firestorm, but still, having them...
Perhaps that's why he did. He was able to handle him. Because he fought him in the past.
He's fought him before.
Or in the future, or whatever. But in his timeline.
He also didn't really seem very scared whenever it's like, oh, you brought some friends, you know?
Yeah, he's already fought Firestorm.
He's already fought Firestorm. He's already beat him. It would be a cool antagonist. It would tie the world together. And Reverse Flash, that actor's kind of growing on me a little bit after the last season.
It'd just be a good tie-in.
Yeah.
All right, Alex Williams. Hi, guys. Was just wondering about the age of Damien Darhk in this episode. If it's 40-odd years in the past, then he must age well. Is this an ability he has of not aging? I was also wondering about the presence of H.I.V.E. I didn't think about H.I.V.E. at all.
Yeah.
Have they always been a force that works in the shadows similar to Vandal Savage?
Now, we can easily answer the first part of the question. Damien Darhk was a contemporary with the former Ra's al Ghul. Those two were in the League of Assassins, and they were vying for the throne pretty much,
they both wanted to be Ra's al Ghul, basically.
Yeah, Ra's al Ghul was chosen. We don't know his name. Damien Darhk was not. He ended up stealing some of the... I think this is the case.
Yeah, I think he stole some of
I think he stole the Lazarus Pit, and then he's gotten into this mysticism stuff. Yep. He's become far more powerful, all that kind of stuff. So that's why he seamlessly is ageless, because He pretty much is.
Yeah, because how old was Ra's al Ghul in last season?
I think wasn't it like a couple hundred years?
Yeah, it was easily 100 years.
Yeah. So right there, we got 3 people that are very old. I mean, Vandal Savage, much older, but still, it's
and
interesting.
Hawkman and Hawkgirl.
Yeah.
But they've died, so they're not as old, but they... I don't know.
Yeah. But the second part, which was, I was also wondering about the presence of H.I.V.E.
Maybe they're there. I don't know. Were they really there then? It was just Darhk with like a couple guys.
We don't know, but it makes... I mean, he doesn't look like Ra's al Ghul or a member of the League of Shadows.
Yeah.
He looked like a James Bond villain in Cuba.
He did. All right, Diggle's dumb helmet.
I like this
guy. Q&A Serious 1. Do you think, in all seriousness, that the team will encounter the Justice League, or at least members of the Justice League, such as older Oliver with a goatee, and possibly save them if the League should become corrupt or captured? I think it'd be cool to see an older corrupt Barry or Oliver in a possible future versus our Legends team. And is it bad? I bang my fist onto the table every time Kendra appears. She is hot, girl.
Hot girl. No, it's not bad. It's very good. You gotta let that stuff out, man. The possibility of maybe we go in the future and we see Green Lantern. We see Tom Welling as Superman. We see the Man of Steel fall. I don't know if they could do it.
I still don't know if I like Barry and Oliver being involved.
I know, I understand. Now, he's saying, what if they were corrupted?
They're still alive in the future.
No. They can go back and fix what corrupted them.
In the future?
Well, yes. I'm just saying, if they go to the future, anything that happens there... I mean, we've learned about this whole cement drying thing. Anything that they do has consequences, and it can disrupt things or not. They could do something that makes it so that Reverse Flash raised Flash, made him evil. They had to combat an evil Flash that can do things throughout the timeline before the timeline could harden. You know what I'm saying? Like, that could be a fun story.
So, like, they do something, and then they have to go back to season 1, where Reverse Flash corrupts Flash, and they're going to switch.
Wouldn't that be kind of cool? And then, like, you could say, like, yeah, but the timeline would fold in on itself because Flash is very important.
But it hasn't cemented dry yet.
It hasn't cemented dry yet, and Flash can outrun time trying to correct itself. That would be a fun story. You would have an evil Barry as the bad guy, and then they could actually beat him and reverse things back to normal.
I'd be okay with that, too, because if they set it up that way, where they change something, there's corruption, they go to the seasons we've already seen and fight them in that time frame.
True.
Then I'm not worried about, he's not going to die, or he's already dead, or any of that. It's just...
I think that would be an exciting story.
That could be cool.
Or if they go to Earth 2, they can meet the Hood. That would also be kind of cool.
That'd be alright.
Legends of Tomorrow, there's a lot of really cool things going on with this show.
Yeah, there's lots of possibilities there.
Endless.
So much, yeah. Multiverse.
Superman.
Pody Kapazuba. Clapzuba?
Clapzuba?
I think that young Dr. Stein smoked weed and was unconscious and then saw a spaceship, so I think that explanation of that is easy. Hallucination. All right.
So we were asking, like, well, what happened? Did he just remember, or did he not remember? And he's like, I got really high.
Saw a spaceship, man.
Met my wife.
Nobody will believe him if he talked about weed in unconsciousness, and I would say even young Dr. Stein will presume that was only hallucination.
Yeah, and if I recall correctly, didn't, like, Rip Hunter do something too?
Well, Rip Hunter went back and talked to him to make sure he went to the dance to meet his wife.
Yeah. We don't know exactly what happened there. He could have, like, kind of solved that a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Like, hey, we're time travelers. I mean, we're taxi drivers. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, oh, man, it's not time travel, man. It's reefer time.
Here, have a smoke. Go to the dance. They have snacks.
You've never been high. No, I'm kidding.
Mr. Mysterious says, since Hawkman was killed, what will happen to Savage if he only absorbs Hawkman and not Hawkgirl as well? Also, would Hawkgirl need to sacrifice herself so that Hawkman can reincarnate?
I mean, with the first part, obviously he got some kind of power because the spirit went into his mouth and his eyes shone a little bit.
He Shang Tsung that shit.
So yeah, he absolutely did.
Your soul is
mine. I love it so much. I kind of want Palpatine.
Soul is mine.
I want a little Palpatine with it.
You know, that's on...
soul is mine.
That's on Netflix.
A little bit. Oh, is it?
Mortal Kombat?
I watched the second one recently. Don't know why. Love it.
That'd be fun.
I don't know why I watched it. Because it's
fun.
not a good movie.
It's a fun movie.
But Sub-Zero in that, his little brother, he gets the scar, is also cool.
And he fights Scorpion.
And he leaves and there comes back. Shit!
Scorpion has 2 things.
I know.
Yeah, they just disappear. Stupid. Anyway.
So damn good.
That's more Kombat.
Let's quit doing... No, I feel bad. Legends of Tomorrow is so much better. Second part of it, Hawk Girl, does she need to be sacrificed for him to be reborn? Because if not, she could die like at 20. He could be 40, finds her again at 20, and then he's like a 40-year-old banging some 20 hot-year-old because they have to be together.
That's good.
I like his theory. No longer mysterious.
No mysterious theory?
Yeah.
I don't know if Hawkman...
I can't remember if they said that, but seemingly they have been the same age, and it's been every 200 years, right?
Yeah.
I think...
Interesting. I don't know. I don't know what to say about this one.
It can't be every 200 years because their past life was less than 100 years because of the sun. The sun was like, what, 50? When he died?
Yes.
They had to have been like at least, I think it was 10. So they had to have been at least like the...
So it was 40 years.
30s or something. I don't know. I think we're doing math wrong. 4,000 years, 206 times?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
But we don't know how they lived before they died.
They could live. Maybe they've lived for like 100 years and then 20 years and then...
Do they age?
Still doesn't really work.
Do they age or just stop at 20?
I think that they have to age.
I don't know.
Aaron.
They go back to time travel. It's easier.
There's no way we're not going to see Carter again. Honestly, right?
I mean, you didn't add too much. V-Bane says, in Season 1, Episode 14 of Flash, when Barry first learned that he might time travel in the future, he went to Stein to talk about it because 25 years prior, he had wrote a paper about time travel for Oxford University Press. And Stein revealed he still had blackboards filled with theories about it. I'm starting to wonder if the idea was put into young Stein's head by this event, but the actual memory was lost or suppressed, maybe by Hunter when he called him to get him to go to the mixer. The idea of all this having already happened is supported by the professor's death last episode.
The idea of everything that already happened, we kind of got a different way of things working in the sense that, like, they are changing things. Because he was, the professor was found dead.
Yeah.
And he was, and here, he died on board the ship and they didn't go back.
See, my thing with this would be, if the professor died and then they went back and put him back there, then I'd be more on board of everything they've done, they've already done.
But I don't think that's
the case.
Changing.
I don't think so either. Unless they went and put the kid back.
Yeah.
Now, the kid. They put that son back, the professor guy. Now, the fact that they did that, he still died, was just time trying to correct itself.
Yeah.
But I don't know if necessarily those are related in that sense.
It's, time tries to correct itself. It would make sense that, like, he was aboard a time ship or something about an age, or he kind of had an idea of what was going on, a little tiny bit. And then they fix things, and he gets interested in time travel, maybe subconsciously, because time is fixing itself. I like that idea.
Yeah, it's a neat idea.
Yeah, but really awesome research, going back, knowing exactly what episode it was.
Yeah.
I know exactly what he's talking about and completely forgot about that.
Yeah, I didn't remember that at all.
So, awesome job. What was his name?
That is V-Bane.
V-Bane, good work. Comment more.
Awakening says, Stein lost his ring, but could still remember his wife. How is that possible?
It's got to be the drying effect?
It's a cement thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing we had with Flash, with Cisco disappearing.
If Cisco disappeared, would they have forgotten about him?
Well, he was disappearing.
Yeah.
But they weren't being like, who is Cisco? Or who is this guy in front of us or anything. I think it was a matter of, like, time starting to show what was going to happen, but not drying yet. So he was like, my ring's starting to disappear. There's issues with my wife. I still remember my wife.
Yeah.
But if we let it sit and go on, and it gets past that point, if they kept Reverse Flash in that box forever, Cisco couldn't be who he was, so he was going to disappear.
Maybe this is a thing too. Maybe, like, let's say they went back and affected Stein, and Stein wasn't involved in going back. He might have never. Well, he definitely never would have met his wife, and he would never have remembered her. Correct. But because he's going back and forth through time, going into the time paradox, or what do they call it? Time,
like a time vortex?
Whatever it is, where there is no time, like a timeout. Maybe because he's doing all these things and he's actually participating, it takes longer for him to dry. Because he's moving throughout. You cement, you keep it moving. Yeah. If you keep it moving, it never dries. Maybe because he is actually moving around, he's not drying as quickly. We're really attached to this drying concept. The concrete thing. I love it. It
gives him a little bit of leeway, which is nice too. So it's not just like, I mean, even the same thing kind of goes with like Back to the Future, where as things were happening and they weren't kissing, he saw the picture and he saw his siblings disappear. Sure. He didn't start disappearing yet, but he saw that. Then he started disappearing. Yeah. So
I think that follows. So the reason he didn't automatically forget was because he's actively a part of it. Yeah. And they could still change things before they become permanent.
There still also was a time period there where they were that they could still fix it. You know, it was like 2 hours before the mixer. He decided he wasn't going to go anymore because he was on the ship. Yeah. But there was still time to, hey, if we get him there, it's okay.
Sure.
So,
what is it with us in time travel shows?
I don't know. Time travel is a fun topic.
I know, but man, it's in a lot of them.
Yeah. No 8 named 8 shadow.
No 8 named 8 shadow.
No 8 named 8 shadow.
Love it.
I loved this episode a lot, but my biggest question, or maybe problem I had with it, was why was Rip Hunter not with everyone? I mean, he stayed on the ship, not really doing anything, right?
Now, do you have an answer to this?
I mean, my thought with it was that nobody was listening to him.
And he's stewing?
And, like, he was just kind of like, I guess I'll let him go and learn.
Yeah.
Because by the end of it, he was there with him.
Okay.
Like, he was out there shooting and stuff like that, wasn't he?
I think so.
I think so, too. But I think it was just a matter of, like, no one's going to listen to me. What was he going to do other than, like, let them go out there? They mess stuff up. He can't go back to Time Masters. I mean, they're already being hunted.
I actually have a theory about this, and I was thinking of this when I was editing the show. Because we had that problem. Why was he doing? If Rip Hunter stays on the ship for most of this stuff, and they mess something up, like Stein, because he's not directly involved, he can actually fix it. Remember, they said that if you can't go back and fix something you're involved with. So if he actually stays back as a safety net, and they fix something happens, I don't know what, he could theoretically go and fix it.
True.
I thought it was interesting.
True. Like if he finds out, hey, we did this bar thing and things happened, we killed a guy who.
Though I mean, they did that for Stein, but he didn't do it because he wasn't there whenever they were all fighting in the warehouse with the terrorists. Mm-hmm. So why couldn't he just have gone back to make sure? Well, I don't know.
They went back and found it, but you can go back in time, enter in there, and try to sneak into a place full of terrorists selling bombs
versus have your God-powered people
just go in there and get the stuff and try. And they got it fixed, so it was all right. I think.
Anyway, I like that. That was just my thought.
I
think that maybe he was doing that because I did find it was kind of weird, or he could have been stewing a little bit. Yeah,
because that was our reason of like why don't they go fight Vandal Savage when they fought Vandal Savage before? Yeah, was because he specified you can't go where you've already been. Yes, and they were all already there.
Yes, absolutely. So
I like that. That works.
Yeah.
All right. Bethany Stevens. What other time periods or major events in world history would you like to see them go to? I personally would like to see them in the Civil War era, but I'm not sure if that would be considered a big enough world event for them to use.
Yankees!
I mean, so far they haven't had any world events, but could you imagine? Yeah, could you imagine him in the Civil War?
Yeah, I could. I really could. This is bad, but like a firestorm, like, what you doing here, boy? We got a runaway slave. Or something like that. We're going to put you to the torch, boy. It's like, funny you mentioned that. Ah!
Oh, that would be crazy.
That would be terrible. There's no way they do that. If you gave me a chance to direct, I'd totally do that. And then, heat wave. Like, awesome! Burning people.
Where would be a good location or time, I guess, for them to go?
When I think about that, where would I like to see Snart?
He would want to go somewhere where they could rob stuff, right?
Well, yeah, but I'm not saying where do they want to go. Where do we want to see them? The future would definitely be awesome.
Some kind of ancient Egypt thing. But they went way back.
What if they did something and they had to go back to the night Barry's mom died?
What?
They're just all there, and then there's more.
They're like watching through the window.
Yeah. Oh, this is my favorite part. You know what? I found that my Mick Rory impression is kind of my Nappa impression. Vegeta! It's a Pokemon.
It's Chatsu!
It's not
Chatsu!
Here, Vegeta.
It's a Chatsu!
Nappa, you have to damage it first. Oh. It's kind of the same.
Yeah, it is kind of the same.
I love it.
So Vegeta's snart.
Yeah.
Damage it first. That'd be funny. I could see that.
I can see it.
Anyway, locations of places. What if you had them fighting Hitler?
That would be good.
That'd be funny.
Didn't he call Damien Darhk Master Race?
Yeah.
Yeah, I immediately go for Mick Rory for what I think about what's going to be in there. But yeah, Hitler would be cool. No, Hitler's not cool. The 1400s, like, you know, cross guards and stuff would be kind of fun.
Oh, like knights
like
and stuff.
Sarah with like a fucking staff, like fighting knights and shit.
Yeah.
Like feudal Japan fighting samurai.
That'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool. They could all like they have that those appropriate clothes machine, right? They gotta be wearing like masks and stuff.
Genghis Khan.
Yeah, like Heatwave could have like. Genghis Khan would be cool. Now we've talked about this too. Perhaps they said the effects are worse the farther back in time you go.
Yeah.
So perhaps it's not reasonable to go back that far, but I'd like it.
I mean, how far did he come back?
I mean, couldn't they just go like make a jump like every like 10 years, make it a little easier? 10 years,
Jump.
take a break. 10 years, take a break.
And just take like a 2-minute break.
Yeah.
Jump. Take a 2-minute break.
Yeah.
That could work.
We can do that.
Yeah.
Check.
All right. Last question is from Chevaliers Emiratu.
Ooh.
Says, what is your ranking for the gang from the best to worst, including Hunter, if you want? By the way, if Sarah's not in at least the top 3, unsubscribe.
Yes.
Number 1. Wait, start from number 1 or we start with like our least favorite?
I'm gonna start with my least favorite.
Carter.
For me, it's kind of Kendra.
Really? Kendra's at least good looking.
Well, no, she is, and she actually gave a pretty good,
I guess
performance.
Carter's not battling for like a guy, but
yeah. I'm glad you pointed out. I would say Kendra, Carter. Okay, now it gets hard.
Jefferson.
Jefferson. Rip.
Stein. I'd say Stein. I would go
Stein. Ray. It's this or Firestorm. I got more connection.
You mean Stein?
Yeah.
Firestorm. Firestorm as a whole?
I'm sorry, no, it's this or Heatwave.
Oh. Firestorm's his own guy.
Yeah, then it's Heatwave and Captain Cold. I'm gonna say.
Wait, where'd you put Sarah at?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sarah's definitely 3.
Oh, she is 3?
Yeah,
okay.
She's above Ray. A little bit above Ray. I love Ray. I mean, honestly, if this guy didn't threaten to unsubscribe, I might put her at 4. No, I'd probably put her at 3. And then we got the 2 of my favorites. And even though I enjoy so far Mick Rory more, I'm gonna put I know Snart more. I see the humanity in him a lot in the performance, whereas Mick is more of like a just force of nature. So I'll put Mick 2, Snart, Leonard Snart, number 1, Captain Cold. He's my legend.
I have the Hawk people probably at the bottom, and then Jefferson, and then probably Stein.
Oh, okay.
And then probably Hunter.
Okay.
And then
I don't know. Stein was pretty badass last episode.
I guess
that thing in the beginning.
I think I like Hunter just because of who plays him.
Okay, I don't have that connection.
I mean,
huh?
Oh, with Hunter you mean?
I don't have the connection with Hunter.
I was say someone that you like to connect, like
no,
for a Prison Break, and he's Schofield, and he's.
I know I'm biased, but I might still feel the same way.
Yeah, maybe. So who I got left? Ray, Sarah, Heatwave, and Snart, right?
Yep.
These 4 are really, really close to me. I really like Ray. I like Sarah now. I might say, oh dang, I love Heatwave because like his comedic factor.
Yeah.
But character development wise and stuff like that, I like Ray up there. So I might say Heatwave 4, and then maybe Ray, Sarah, Snart.
Okay. I accept. It's hard for me.
I love Heatwave, but
Yeah.
he's so comedic, but you get more character development out of the top 3 that
I just see so much drama coming up because, on one hand, yeah, I like killing people and I'm a criminal and I want to steal stuff. On the other hand, that part in the last episode where he's like, Firestorm like puts his hand down and he's like, "Are you okay?" And he looks up and he's like, "I'm pissed. I'm gonna kill this Vandal Savage guy." I don't know, and he could still just be a plain villain,
Yeah.
He could just fuck things up for no reason.
True.
I just enjoy the lightning that goes into that person to see.
He has so much fun with the role.
There's just something about, like, with the whole for Carter thing, I like that with those two in there. Like, count us in, But the scene where he, like, I'm pissed. Like, I'm gonna kill this Vandal Savage guy. That just got to me. Like, yes!
Yeah.
So that's me. But
Right.
I respect your opinion.
Yeah.
Because you still got good old Snart up there.
Yeah, I think Snart's probably my favorite one. I love the way he portrays him.
Yeah.
I love the actor and the character both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's some people that... There's some of the characters, like Rip Hunter's probably higher because of the actor.
Sure.
Even though we haven't seen Hunter as much. But then there's other ones that I like the characters, and there's ones I like the character and the actor.
I mean, obviously I love his comedic timing. I love his just chemistry with everybody. The thing I'm probably most intrigued about is he is putting in his performance very subtle rationalizations of why he does bad things, and you can see that he kind of cares what people think about him, a little tiny bit, and he kind of wants to do the right thing. I see that it's very subtle.
Yeah.
They do it just a bit, and then they kind of like offset it sometimes. But when they were talking about being heroes and doing something good that actually changes things and saving the world, I don't think Snart wants to see the world burn. He hates fire. He's a cold man.
To see it freeze.
He wants to be able to steal things in a healthy, vibrant world where he has an agreement with the Flash.
Yeah.
Everything's all good. That guy, who's not a good guy, can be a hero. Yeah. And that probably makes me most excited for him, for this whole damn show, for all the Q&As, for everything, Aaron. Yeah. I love it.
I'm just really excited to see where it goes.
Yeah.
I'm just the characters. And the thing about these ones is, like, I mean, any of them could die, you know? I don't feel like any of them are plot armored,
Yeah.
Except for maybe Sarah.
Yeah, we'll see. The thing I'm most excited about, and I'll probably talk about this forever, for the rest of the whole season, is that, have you ever had a show that you loved 2 episodes in? 1 episode in? 10 seconds in?
10 seconds.
I mean, 10 minutes. I mean, by the time, here, Piggy! When they first brought this guys in, I'm like, yes! This is great! Have that ever happened to you? I can't remember when I was a kid and stuff. I'm sure when I was a
Flash
kid.
might have been close to me because it had built in with Arrow a little bit.
It did, but I still felt like it took me a little bit, especially when we got into the Reverse Flash, Harrison Wells stuff. It took me a little bit to be like, I love this show, versus like, we'll see where this goes. I don't know where this is going to go, and I already love it.
I'd say the Spider-Man animated series from the 90s.
Okay.
As soon as I started watching it, I loved it.
See, I can't remember never not really watching that. I guess
I watched it.
Yeah.
I don't remember a time when I never watched it. I remember like the first. If I watched it, I know I had to have loved it.
Like I can't remember my first Star Wars experience. I can't remember my first comic book experience.
The only one I can think of, I don't know if it was my first comic book. I guess it was an experience, but it was when I got the full set of Maximum Carnage.
Oh yeah,
like that whole set. It was really cool.
But yeah, I don't know. There's just something about like watching a new show and knowing it's gonna be one of my favorite shows. Regardless of what they do with it, I can't imagine, and this probably sounds stupid, I can't imagine me not liking this show unless they just go in such a crazy way.
Yeah, I hope they don't.
Like, what could they do? What could they possibly do, Aaron? Anything, like, these guys are smart. Any direction they can go in. I mean, we had Stein meeting his younger self, smoking doobies and getting hit with bongs and stuff, and I loved every second of it.
Hooking up with Sarah, maybe?
Yeah.
Or, I
loved every second of it because you have a great cast. You have 8 ensemble name actors, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of them. But, I mean, Sarah was from Mad Men, I know, and Stein from Titanic, and Prison
Blonde.
Break, and... Was he in that?
No, Stein was in Legally Blonde, yeah.
Oh. I would prefer to think about a ship that sunk and killed a lot of people.
All right. Dude, what if they go to the Titanic?
Oh! How crazy would that be? How crazy would that be? They can...
What if
Aaron, they can do no wrong!
What if Savage is on the Titanic, they go there to stop him, and Stein runs across the character he played in Titanic and stuff, and
Heatwave mounts that?
And what if Snark creates the iceberg?
Yeah, he has to fix the timeline. Dude, that's the stupidest episode I ever thought of, and I want it! I want it so bad. They can't... What can they do? They can go to the West. Wow, West would be awesome. They could go to fucking...
Could you imagine Heatwave walking around with like a hat, like his heat gun on his side? Ching, ching,
yes! They could do no wrong. There's no direction they can go, and I'm going to be like, bullshit. Think of the craziest thing.
Hopefully they don't do what, this might sound a little crazy, but Power Rangers Time Force?
Okay.
They had, in their, like, opening thing, they were showing, all the characters and their morphing and everything like that, and then they showed them, like, in a samurai thing. And they showed them, like, in the Wild West. And through the entire season, there's one episode where they don't even go to the future or past or anything. They go into, like, an alternate TV reality where at one point they're in a samurai world, at one point they're in a Western world, and that's the only time they go to anything like that. Everything else is just they went from the future, they went to this one time frame, and that's where they fight everything. That's it. But in the previews, it looks like, they go through all these times.
Sure.
As long as they don't do that, and they don't just stay in the 70s forever.
Okay.
As long as that's not what happens.
I agree, but even if that happened, we still have compelling characters that make for interesting ideas.
True. I want them to go other times, though.
There's no way they wouldn't.
So far, there's 2 episodes that would have been in the 70s.
Yeah. I'm saying, that's like making a documentary about a city block and only staying in one house. You know what I'm saying? There's no way it's not going to happen. That's a weird metaphor, but that's what I picked. Fuck it. We're done.
All right. Yep, I think we're done with this. We're excited to see more Legends Tomorrow, so make sure you guys tune in tonight to see CW's Legends Tomorrow. And then come back here and see what we had to say and what we thought and what we looked at and snart and all sorts of stuff. So, So, while you're thinking of your Q&As, which we mentioned also this in the Arrow Q&A,
yes.
Don't mention any Q&As for next week here. Do that in the Legends of Tomorrow video.
Absolutely.
That's where we'll be looking for Q&As. Now, you can have more discussions in here about what we talk about, but for actual Q&As, make sure you're posting those over in the next video.
Yes, in the reaction.
Yes, in the reaction video. So, and then while you're down there making comments, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, check the description for our Facebook, for our Twitter, for our Twitch stream, which this Friday we're going to be going through Uncharted 1. Uncharted 4 is coming out soon.
Yeah,
Eric and I are excited about that.
We are.
Calvin has never played Uncharted.
He's not good at games.
We're going to be letting
He's not
Calvin
bad. He's getting better.
We're going to let Calvin play through Uncharted.
Yeah.
And Eric and I are going to be there to support him. So make sure you guys tune in for that. So check out blindwave.net, check out Twitch, check out everything. Until next time, I'm Aaron.
I'm Eric.
And we'll see you guys later. Eric, hit the button.
Watch out, guys!
Oh, no!